Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Srini here, and this is the video number 4 in the Playwright tutorial series. So if you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing to it and hit the bell icon to get notifications. So today we're going to look at the part 4 in this Playwright series. So this is going to be a interesting video because so far what we have seen in the last video was that we have just seen a positive scenario where a happy go path kind of a scenario where a user is trying to do a testing, right? We've taken an example of a google.com, a very simple website to start with, right? And we just try to understand as to what is the structure. How do you create step by step the test in a playwright kind of a fashion, right? So we have already seen this kind of a fashion where we create a context, we create a page, and as I had mentioned, page acts like a driver variable, and using it you can try to work on your browser. So what we had done with page object, we had tried to instantiate a page object here, and then we try to launch a browser, and with that we also loaded this URL, and we have just done a console, this particular title, the browser title, using the page.title method. And as we had discussed that in JavaScript, it is very important that you use async and await combination. Async will be at the method declaration level, and await will be at every step. The reason being it's asynchronous in nature by default. So all these steps will try to perform in parallel execution mode. But you don't want that to happen, because if you allow that to happen without using the await keyword, then your third step or fourth step might execute before your first step itself. So it will definitely give you a kind of session not found or some other kind of errors where you don't have a proper sequence fashion of your execution, right? So in order for that not to happen, what we need to ensure is we need to use await at every step. Now we'll do one small change over here. For the same test case which we had looked at last time, instead of making this equal to the actual title, which is going to be Google, we will first do a quick execution by seeing how the pass report looks like. Then I'll try to show you how a failed report looks like and how you can identify or do a troubleshooting in your local as to where exactly something has gone wrong. So we are going to see that step by step. So stay with me till the end of this video and you'll be getting to know a lot of useful insights from this. So what we are going to do now is we are going to run it. So the command to run it is just say npx playwright test. And I have made it enabled only in Chrome browser, so it will execute only in Chrome browser. So it has launched and it has done the execution and it has passed. Now let me show you how the report looks like. So I'm just going to show you all the positive report, how it looks like when everything goes fine. So you can see we have got only one test case which took 2.4 seconds overall to execute. It is present within the example.spec.js file and it is executing on the Chromium browser. If I click on it, you would see that there are some by default before hooks and after hooks provided by Playwright. Okay. And this is a fixture browser. Now, in our test case, we are trying to create a context, then we are creating a page, then we are navigating to this website. It is showing you by pointing out to what exactly is happening at every step. And you don't have any failures here. And I have just got one std out or a console log statement, which is printing Google, the title of the browser. This is how a report looks like when we are having a positive test case without any failure. Everything is working fine end to end. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to make a small change. Rather than saying Google, I'll say Googling. Okay. So I'm trying to purposely make this test case fail. Now, I want to show you all what are the different ways we can troubleshoot a test case when it gets failed. So for that, in your playwright.config.js, okay, you have to make some small changes. These are the changes which I have done in my file. If you see here, I've added a something attribute called trace. Okay, and this is present within this JSON object. So I'll show you. So I have a defined config. In that, if you go below, there is a use JSON object. Okay, in this use, you have to mention all these attributes. So I have tried to mention over here that, okay, I want it to capture trace. I'll tell you what is a trace in a moment. So stay with me. What is a video? You would be understanding that, right? So video is nothing but an entire capture of your execution, whatever you're doing in your browser, that gets captured in a video. So you would exactly come to know what is going wrong when you look at that video. And you can also attach this video when you try to raise defects to your developer in your projects, right? Similarly, screenshot, which exact point is where your test case is getting failed. You can capture the screenshot only on failure. If you want that to happen only on failure, you can do that. There are other ways also. So if I remove this value and if I just try to put a apostrophe, I can make it on. Means for every test case, irrespective of failure or pass, it will capture screenshot. I can make it off. I can make the screenshot captured only on the first failure, only on the first time when it is getting failed. But if you see here, there is also one thing which I'm saying only on failure. Means I want to capture it only on failure, the screenshots. Let's look at the video, what all modes we are having. Okay. We have off, on, first retry, means first time when it got failed. After that, you want to retry your test case again. So on that retry, first retry, the video will be captured. Retain on failure, retry with video. Okay. So we are going to go for retain on failure. Same was the case with trace also. We are going to go for retain on failure. Means only on failure it will be shown. And we want it to run on a headless mode. Sorry, on a headed mode, not a headless mode. That's why we have made the headless as false. And if you look at the browser which I have chosen here, it's only Chromium browser. I've not chosen Firefox or WebKit. You can have it enabled, but for now, for demo purpose, I've just made it as in one browser because I want to focus only on the execution report for this particular video tutorial session. So let's do it one more time. Let's clear it out and let's run it again. And let's observe the behavior. Okay. And now you can see the test case has got failed and it has perfectly shown you at a place where exactly it's going wrong. So at line number 8 in your script, it is saying when you're trying to do this assertion with Googling, it is where it is getting failed because your expected is Googling, but you're getting Google in your actual browser. So we purposely made it as failure. But the main point here is that it exactly shows you at which line it is getting failed. And also it shows you the assertion error over here. And if you come down at your test steps level, also it shows you a cross mark. If you expand it, again, it will show you the line which exactly is getting failed. This is the beauty of the Playwright test report which they are giving. We don't need any kind of third-party plugin report tool as such because this is so intuitive. It gives you so much of insights. And if you look at the screenshot, exactly at the time of failure, it has captured a screenshot where it has got failed. Now, if you don't understand much from the screenshot, it is perfectly fine because you have one more thing called traces over here. So if you see there is a trace here, just click on it and it will open up step by step as to what exactly is happening. And you also have got a timeline chart. See what exactly you're doing. Then you got google.com opened, the screen got opened, right? Everything is getting captured in this kind of a timeline chart. And if you look on the left hand side navigation, what actions are we performing? Okay. So when we went to the google.com, this got opened and this is the action, what happened before and what happened after. So before, of course, the browser was not launched. We were just about to launch it. Once it was launched, we got this URL loaded into the browser. And if you see here, if you go to this expect to equal, if I click on before and after, right? So it has given you the screenshot that something has got failed over here in expect to equal because it's not like we're doing something in a UI. We're doing something with the assertion. That's why the page is blank here because it's not doing anything specifically at this step. It's just doing an assertion. So if you look at the error, it is showing you exactly the assertion error. Let's see if there is any log. There is no log at this particular step. So whichever step we are capturing the log, it will capture the log there. Okay. So this is the exact way of how a trace file is giving you the idea about where exactly it's going wrong. Okay. And also it gives you a timeline chart. Now, if I go back to the report, so I'll show that second part in the next video. But in this particular part, what I wanted to mainly focus on was that what you can see your report in case of failure, how it looks like. And that we have already seen in this particular video. So stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to give you all some insights onto what further you can do with test case writing, what you can have different flavors of your test case. Okay. So stay tuned for that and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.